Awesome people, inspiring stories, the Living the Dream podcast. Welcome back to the Living the Dream podcast. I'm your host, Matt Scaletti, and what a treat we have today. I am with Kute Blackson, and he is the author of the national best-selling book, You.Are.The.One, and is widely considered the next generation leader in the field of personal development by everyone ranging from Larry King to Jack Canfield and more. This man did not have a quote unquote normal upbringing. He was speaking to hundreds of thousands of people at the age of 8. That's right, 8 years old. He became an ordained minister at age 14 and thought he'd take over his father's ministry when the time came. However, deep in his heart, he knew he was destined for a different path in life. He decided to move to America, which caused a little bit of tension between he and his father. He quickly realized after the move that he was on his own to either sink or swim. And now he is swimming because he's a huge motivational speaker. He's an author, and he helps people create breakthroughs in their own lives. What an inspiration. Kute, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
I am beyond excited. This is going to be so much fun. And let's dive right in. Age 8 to 14, you're speaking to hundreds and thousands of people at a time. How does that happen? And walk us through this whole journey of how you got to America and your background and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, my father's a minister, and he had 300 churches in Ghana, a huge church in London. His church in London had about 5,000, 6,000 people every Sunday. He was a very mystical, spiritual guy, less traditional, sort of religious, much more spiritual in nature. So I grew up meditating and in a very spiritual context. But as a young kid, I was more interested in playing soccer and being naughty. And so I go to church and never wanted to go to church. I'm like, screw this. I want to go play soccer. And my friends are out playing soccer and I have to be in church for 4 hours. And so I'd be causing a bunch of noise. And eventually my father caught on, and he literally grabbed me, had someone grab me by the collar, put me in the front row of the audience in front of 5,000 people. And one day I'm just sleeping because I'm bored as hell. And my father suddenly sees me sleeping, I think, and announces, yeah, my son is giving the speech today, the sermon today, and he's going to inspire you. And he's run up on stage, and I'm still asleep. And the guy's nudging me saying, your dad's calling you on stage. And kind of rubbed my eyes. I woke up and ran up on stage, and that was the beginning of my speaking career. And honestly, I had no idea what I was going to say. I had no idea. I had nothing planned. It was a surprise. But when I stood up on stage, I felt like I was channeling. I felt like I was at home. I felt like everything dissolved. Everything went into slow motion. I felt like I was in the zone, so to speak. And that's what began. So I would say once a month, every 6 weeks, just depending. My father would literally just throw me on stage and say, speak. And it was amazing preparation. And I would say from around age 8, I became really, that started something in me, but I became really obsessed with spirituality and transformation and healing. And, my father had him and I never really talked a lot, but he had all these books on a bookshelf. And that's what really began my journey into sort of self-help and personal development. And I'd go to his bookshelf when he wasn't around, and I'd sneak these books, and I started reading my first self-help book, which was a book by Shakti Gawain on creative visualization, and Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay and Deepak Chopra, Marianne Williamson and Dan Millman, and the Eastern mystics, people like Osho, Krishnamurti, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, just on and on and on, and started meditating and experimenting with myself, having these, really amazing spiritual experiences. So from age 8 to 14, I was on that path. And at age 14, my father announces to the congregation, my son is taking over the church. He's my successor. And when I heard that, my heart sunk, because, from a very young age, I started to ask myself the questions, who am I and why am I here and what's the purpose of life? And I look at the world, and, I went to a very prestigious school. I got a scholarship to a very prestigious school where a lot of the students and my peers were, sons of presidents and prime ministers and government officials and what have you. And I had, I came from a family that had nothing. I went to the school for free. And yet I saw these people, a lot of these people were miserable and unhappy. They had every reason to be happy, every reason to be fulfilled, every reason. And yet totally unhappy. And I thought, wow. And in my father's congregation, these were a lot of these sort of downtrodden, outcast, uneducated people from, third world countries, parts of Ghana and Africa and Caribbean. They didn't have a whole lot, but they were some of the most fulfilled, kind, happiest, just smiling people. And I thought, what's going on? That doesn't make sense. So I started asking myself the questions, what is this whole thing called life? Why are we here? Is it just to wake up, eat, have sex, make babies, buy a car, go on vacation, and then die? Surely there has to be more to life than this. And so I started asking myself the question, what is the purpose of life? Why are we here? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What is the meaning of this existence? And that's when I started reading literally hundreds and hundreds of books, maybe 700-800 books by the time I was 18. And at age 14, my father announced to the congregation, my son's taking over my ministry. And I knew that wasn't my path. I knew that wasn't my truth. I knew that was not why I was here. And quite honestly, I didn't say anything to my father because I was too afraid as a 14-year-old boy. I was too afraid that if I spoke my truth, if I dared to be myself, if I shared who I really was, that I would not be loved, I would be outcast, I'd be alone, I would lose my father's love. And I think there's so many things we do in life as human beings, even as adults, so many things we do in life that aren't authentic to us. And there's so many ways that we betray ourselves and we aren't true. We don't reveal ourselves because we are afraid of not being loved at the core. And so I didn't say anything to my father, and I got ordained at age 14. I went along with everything. And it was a tough 4 years, because there was always this knowing in my heart that I was not living my truth. And so I think it was, I went through a lot of pain, a lot of turmoil, a lot of questioning, a lot of dark nights of the soul and kind of depression because I felt like I was not living who I was. And I looked into my future. At age 18, I had to make a decision whether to go to university or what was I going to do. And I looked in a certain direction, and I looked at the expected path, the path that my father set out for me, all of the expectations of my community and everyone around, hundreds of thousands of people counting on me and looking to me for counsel and advice. I was the next guy. And I looked down that path and I saw, wow, I could maybe 10, 20, 30, 40 years, I could be successful by everyone else's standards and make money, fame, take things to the next level. But at age 20, age 30, age 40, age 50, age 60, I looked in the trajectory of my life and I saw that it just felt like a soul suicide, and the pain hit me. And I felt this deep sense of, if I don't have myself, I could have everything in the world. But if I don't have myself, if I don't have my soul, if I don't have my spirit, then what the hell do I have, And it just hit me. And I knew what I had to do, but I was afraid, and I had to muster up the courage. And then 18, I finally decided to have the conversation. I looked at the other path, which was the unknown. And so often we're guided to go in a direction. We're guided to follow a dream. It doesn't make sense. We don't know how we're going to do it. We think, me, of all people? And, maybe we don't have the resources, the education, the context, the know-how. Maybe we've never done it before. Everyone thinks we're crazy. But there's something in your soul that is still guiding you. I always tell people, listen to that something in the soul. And so for me, I had to do something really courageous, which was I had to be willing to tell myself the truth. And one of the things that I feel blocks us the most as human beings, one of the things that I think that keeps us stuck as human beings the most from truly transforming our lives. And if those listening in, if you really want to transform your life, I think we have to look at this thing. One of the things that stops us are all the ways we lie to ourselves. In so many ways, we are constantly BSing ourselves, lying to ourselves, rationalizing those reasons for why we're not doing what we want to be doing, why we are the way we are. Maybe you're in a relationship and you know that it's not really aligned. You're not in love anymore. It's not resonating for you, but you stay because you've invested so much time. You stay because what will people say if I break up? You'll stay because you feel guilty, you feel bad, or you're just afraid of maybe you won't find anyone else. And so you stay even though it's not truthful and you sell yourself out. This is lying to ourselves. Or maybe you're working a job that is just not your purpose. It's not your passion, but you stay obviously for survival, for the money. And yet it eats you up inside. And there's so much talent inside of you that you want to express that doesn't get expressed out of fear. And so I think one of the first things we have to do to truly start shifting our lives is having the courage to tell the truth to ourselves, the willingness to tell the truth and ask yourself, what am I lying to myself about? Where am I lying? What am I lying to myself about? What am I pretending to not know? Because quite often we are pretending. There's many things that we know we should be doing, many things we know we shouldn't be doing, but we're pretending. We play a game with ourselves. I'm not sure. I don't know I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know if this relationship is right for me. I don't know what to do. I don't know where I'm going. When deep down, we do know. Deep down, there is a part of us that knows. There is a part of us that knows. And I think we have to have the courage to feel that knowing, trust that knowing, own that knowing, and take the steps to go in the direction. And that's when I really had to have the courage to speak to my father. And that's what changed my life. 17, 18 years old, a young kid, spoke to my father, told him the truth. I'm not taking over your churches and I love you. And that was that. We didn't speak for 2 years. It was very, very challenging. But I think we have to be, you cannot live a truly fulfilling life or truly happy life or feel truly happy and fulfilled being someone that you're not. You cannot be truly happy and fulfilled living someone else's version for yourself. And there will be no shortage of people that will impose on you who you should be and what you should live, even though they're not living happy and free themselves, you know? And so I think we have to have the courage to be ourselves. And it takes the courage to be ourselves, the courage to look at the lies we're telling ourselves, the courage to acknowledge what we're pretending to not know, the courage to also feel the pain. This is one thing also that I think is transformative, to feel the pain of the lies we're telling ourselves. Many times we feel the misalignment. We feel something's off. We feel the pain. We feel the frustration. But because we're afraid of, what will happen if I tell the truth? What will happen to my life if I'm really honest? What will happen if I truly honor my heart? And because we're afraid of what the consequences, I think we often feel the pain, but we distract ourselves. You know, we shop it away, we social media it away, we sex it away, we eat it away, we just, whatever it is to distract ourselves from feeling the pain. So the other thing I would encourage everyone to do is take the time to be in the stillness, take the time to be still, to be quiet. I mean, it's interesting. We're in a time on the planet right now where, you know, at least, I mean, things are opening up, but, you know, for the longest time, we couldn't travel. We were in lockdown, quarantines, what have you. And I think that was the universe's way of saying, you're going to sit yourself down and you're going to meditate on your soul, meditate on your heart, meditate on your truth, really take this moment to reevaluate what's real, what's true, and reconnect with your purpose. Because I think so many of us, we've been running around, so busy, running, don't really know what we're running towards, but we've just been conditioned to run towards some ideal of success that we've been conditioned to believe, and we don't really know what we're running from. We're just running. And so I think we have to be willing to stop, to sit, to feel, to listen, and be honest. I think honesty is the key to transforming our life. And so that's where I started. I spoke to my father. We didn't speak for 2 years. It was very challenging. Cut a long story short, I ended up winning a green card in the lottery, a green card lottery, not a lottery from like a 7-Eleven, but a green card lottery. And got my green card and came to the US with 2 suitcases, $1,000, knew no one in the country. And I think, you know, I believe fortune favors the bold. And so if anyone's listening in and they have dreams and they have visions, you know, one of the things that I think keeps us stuck is we're constantly trying to figure out with our minds, how to do it. How am I going to do it? I don't have the money. And I would say that's something I never really tried to figure out in my life. I felt the truth in my heart and I went in the direction. I felt the dream in my heart and I went in the direction. So I would encourage anyone, if you have a dream or a vision, go in the direction. You don't have to have life figured out. You don't have to have the entire plan figured out. Many times we're trying to plan everything, figure everything out, put it in a neat little sort of strategic roadmap. And then once we have it figured out, then we're going to take action. And I think it's the wrong way around. I think the universe is waiting for us to say yes, to trust, to take action. And that's when life starts unfolding and revealing itself to us. And often I found life ends up working out in ways that we honestly could not even imagine for ourselves. And yeah, you know, that's kind of how I came to the US and the journey began there.
Oh, but you just brought up like 48 different questions I want to ask through that journey because my hand is hurting from writing down. What a story. I mean, that's incredible. I guess one of the things I would follow up with is for somebody that's sitting here and maybe they're not living their dream life. They don't have their dream job. And I think the meditation is a great place to start. Are there a couple actionable ideas for someone that's sitting here going, that sounds great, but what's the first step somebody
Yeah,
needs?
the first step I mentioned, which was be willing to sit with yourself and really acknowledge the truth. Acknowledge the truth of what you feel about your current reality. Many times we are BSing ourselves and lying to ourselves about our current reality. You know, this job is okay. Or, you know, sometimes we read a spiritual book and it's like, oh, you should be grateful. You should be grateful. So we're like, oh, I'm grateful for my situation. No, I'm not. I hate my job. And so I think we shouldn't use gratitude as a cover up for feeling the truth. We should be willing to own, I hate my job. I don't like my job. This is not a line. It's painful. That's one. Own the truth. Really have the courage to own the truth. This is not working. This is not my purpose. I feel unfulfilled and it's painful. Secondly, sit and feel the pain. Feel the pain. Feel it. That's one of the things that keeps us doing the dead end job or the job that's not aligned, because we know it's not right, but we don't feel the pain. So we just kind of keep going. We numb ourselves with watching movies here, going to Netflix here, buying a few things here, a sort of an anesthesia for our pain. So we never really feel the pain of what we're currently living. We never really feel the pain. So one of the keys is feel the pain. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it hurts. Yes, you know, I feel so many gifts inside me, books I want to write, things I want to share, things I want to do. And it's painful to not give that. I am going to die with gifts inside of me. And I think one of the most painful things is to feel the gifts inside of us, you know, to feel what we want to do, what we want to create, and to just be existing in a life of kind of just mediocrity, you know? And so feel it. Feel it. That feeling and acknowledgement will create a burn inside, a fire inside that will start burning us up from the inside. And the hope is, as we feel it, we won't be able to help but start taking action to move in the direction. So that's the second thing, is really feel the pain. The third thing is really acknowledge what some of your skills are, and take the time when you're feeling the pain to get clear on, okay, I don't like my job, but I could go get another job and I'm going to be in the same situation. So I'd invite people to really then tune into and feel, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? Because unless you create a life, then you're just making a living. Unless you create a life that is aligned with your soul, a life that is aligned with your heart, a life that is aligned with your truth, you will hit a point of dissatisfaction and you will not enjoy the journey. It's like you'll just be working a job versus a true purpose. And so sometimes people might think, well, how do I find my purpose? And so a couple of simple, practical things I'll say in terms of helping people find their purpose, because what I don't want them to do is just switch jobs, right? And so there's this idea that you have to like know what your purpose is in order to live it. You got to figure it out. Then you write it down on a poster board. Then you keep it in a little card. You can put it in a little paragraph. And I say, look, that's not true. I think you don't have to know what your purpose is to start living your purpose. And sometimes we're constantly waiting to start living our purpose, which is similar to we end up putting our lives on hold for some special moment in the future till we have it all figured out. And what I'm saying is, you don't have to have your purpose figured out. You don't have to have your purpose figured out. Instead, because what that does is we put our future on layaway. And so what I'm inviting people to do, if you're not clear on, if you're not feeling fulfilled in the job that you're in, it's okay. Take that time to figure out your purpose. What does that mean? Start going in the direction of what you love. Start moving in the direction of what lights you up. It's not about how can I make more money? I mean, there's lots of people that make more money, that make a ton of money, that are miserable. I've worked with many multi-billionaires who are just unhappy. They don't feel fulfilled. They're like, I'm making all this money, but I may as well not be making it because I feel like shit. And so go ask yourself, what turns me on? What gives me aliveness? Where do I feel truly most alive? What do I feel most alive doing? You know, a lot of people don't know that, you know, my father had 300 churches, and people say, wow, Kute, you're such a great speaker. But what people don't know is I used to live behind my father's church in a tiny little apartment. We didn't have a lot of money. My room was literally the size of a tiny little, gas station bathroom, literally, with a bed, and that's it, right? I'd have to climb into the door, onto the bed, because there was no way to go around. I mean, it was that small. But I would sneak into my father's church at night, every night, with the lights off as an 11-year-old kid. And I would literally speak to the empty chairs for 3 or 4 hours every day, giving seminars to the empty chairs, 200, 300, 400, 100,000 people, imagining myself in an auditorium, in a hotel room, speaking for hours from age 11 to age 8. That's like 3, 4 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week. And so people don't realize, like for me, that was my purpose. And so in a sense, I would be doing what I'm doing for pretty much free. And I was doing it for free then. And now, now obviously I have a business and I've become successful, but this is what makes me alive. So ask yourself, what makes you most alive? Because if you don't follow the aliveness, you won't have the true motivation and devotion to follow through the challenging times. So go in the direction. Purpose is not something to be figured out up front. Purpose is something where when you go in a direction and you take a step, then you take another step, then you take another step. In every step, life will meet you and reveal the next step to you. Your purpose is unfolded. Your purpose is revealed to you in the process of living itself. And then all of a sudden, what you will find is, wow, 3 years, 5 years, 2 years, 10 years from now, oh my God, I'm living my purpose, right? You've lived into your purpose. And I look at people like, let's say, Obama, Oprah, Mandela. Many of these people had no idea that's where they were going to end up. Yeah, Obama at age 12, I'm going to be president of the United States. I mean, how unlikely is that? But he lived into it. Oprah didn't start off a multi-billionaire. She was abused as a child, then followed her purpose, followed her passion and her love, which was communicating. And she got onto television, became a newscaster. She got fired because she was crying. She had too much compassion when she read the news stories. That led to a talk show, a small little talk show in Baltimore, which led to bigger things. And then boom, we have Oprah. Purpose is something that reveals itself to you as you live life and take action. Most of us sit on the sidelines trying to figure it out. Most of us don't take the action necessary. Life will give you feedback. So go in the direction of what you love. And so that's the first thing. Second thing is look at your specific skills. While you're in the job that I hate my job, stop saying that. Use that time to go, okay, what skills do I have? Maybe there's something in my current job that even though I hate the job, there must be a reason I'm learning what I'm learning because I'm getting to develop a certain skill set doing what I'm doing right here. Maybe I'm learning to type. Maybe I'm learning about, Facebook marketing. Maybe I'm learning about how to make videos. Maybe I'm learning about PR. Maybe I'm learning about, leadership. Maybe I'm learning about managing people. Maybe I'm learning about humility. Whatever it is, there's certain skill sets where you are that if you learn will be part of your preparation and part of the tool chest that you can use as you start truly living your real purpose. I look at someone like Mark Burnett. Mark Burnett is a mega producer. He pretty much was single-handedly responsible for what's called reality television. He launched Survivor and The Apprentice and The Amazing Race, the list goes on. But this guy was like a paratrooper in the military, I think in England, a paratrooper, which is all about adventure and challenge and what have you. You can see how the dots start connecting together. Paratrooper, then started doing these endurance ultra marathon crazy, races and, which turned into Amazing Race. Yeah. Then he came to Los Angeles and started selling t-shirts on Venice Beach. So he had to learn how to sell as a salesperson. And so all these elements and skills, now, none of those things were his dream job. None of those things were his true purpose, but all of those skills came together to prepare him to be able to pitch his show, to create Amazing Race, to create Survivor, to create Apprentice, and the hundreds of other TV shows he made that came together to make him the mega producer. If he didn't do any of those things, he would not have had the skills of persuasiveness and creativity and ideas to be able to see life the way he did and be the producer that he was. And so every job that you have is serving you. So if you're working in a job that you hate, don't hate it. Learn from it. Don't hate it. Extract the skills from it. Then ask yourself, what specific skills do I have? What am I good at? What comes second nature to me? In order to truly be effective, you have to have skill. Because you might say, Kute, I love basketball, but I'm 3'1". I love basketball, but I can't even, shoot a hoop.
That's me. That is me.
That's me. I can't. I'm one of those. I like basketball, but, it's not happening for me. No matter how much I visualize and practice the law of attraction, I'm not going to play for the Lakers. It's just reality. I don't have the skill. I might have the love, but I don't have the skill. So you have to have the love, and you have to have the skill set. Those are two things. The thing is, ask yourself what specific problem you are gifted at solving. To me, a lot of people, when they're trying to figure out their purpose and their dream job, ask themselves, oh, where can I make the most benefits? Where can I make the most money? Where can I get paid? Where can I have job security? I would say money is, I've never followed money in my career. It's never been a, oh, how can I make money? It's always been, does this feel aligned? Is this in my integrity? Is this my truth? Is this in alignment with my purpose? And so what I found is when you really focus on adding value, when you actually, let me back up, when you focus on adding value, you add value to people's lives when you solve a pain, problem, or challenge. When you solve a pain, problem, or challenge, you add value to people's lives. And that value is rewarded in the form and exchange of money. Money is simply the exchange of adding value to someone's life when you solve a pain, problem, or challenge. And so a lot of people are focusing on how can I make the money? I'm saying shift the focus to service. Shift the focus, how can I be of service? Shift the focus, how can I add value? And when you truly, really focus on that, off of yourself to truly making a difference by solving a pain, problem, or challenge, money will be a natural byproduct. The last thing people can do to really figure out my next job, my next purpose is look at what group of people, community of people you feel an affinity to, a connection to. Maybe you feel a natural connection to single mothers. Maybe you feel a natural connection to teenage kids. Maybe you feel a natural connection to special needs folks. Maybe you feel a natural connection to African-American folks. Maybe you feel a natural connection to, the elderly. Maybe you feel, whoever you feel a natural, maybe you feel a natural connection to the dolphins, right? Whoever it is, whatever group of people, I believe you have that affinity for a reason. You have that affinity. Maybe your soul has a connection. Maybe it's karmic. If there is such a thing, maybe it's past life. Who knows? But there is a connection that your soul has with that group of people for a reason. That is pointing you in the direction of perhaps the group of people that you are here to solve. Like, for instance, I remember when I first came to the US, man, I was 19. I got to make money. I want to make money. And I went out, and my friend's boyfriend ran a car dealership. He said, "Look, Kute, we're doing these tent sales." I'm like, "What's a tent sale?" Well, all the cars come together. They have these tents in the middle of a big field, and they sell cars on the weekend, right? For kind of deals. I'm like, okay. He goes, "You can make a lot of money." I went there. I sold 3 cars in 2 days, which wasn't bad for my first time. A rookie, never sold a car before, and I made like $1,000, which 19-year-old kid, that was like great money for 2 days.
Yeah.
I felt so miserable. I felt so empty and miserable. The sense of, this is not what I was born for. This is not what my soul, maybe your soul, maybe someone else's soul, but this is not what my soul was uniquely put here on the planet to do. I believe when you align with your purpose, when you align with your truth, when you're going in the direction of your own natural evolution, then life begins flowing. And ultimately, if you don't know what the form of your purpose is, follow the direction. Ultimately, if you don't know what the form of your purpose is, it's okay. Realize then that at least in this moment, no matter what you're doing, even if you're working a job that you hate, even if you're working a job that you don't love, you can still live your purpose. If you can get clear, what is my purpose? You can still live your purpose inside of the structure and form of the job that you're doing. Your job is your job. It's a vehicle, but your purpose is who you are, what you are committed to bringing. So if you're not sure what you want to do as an expression, like, I don't know what I want to do, but I know that I'm here to love. I know that I'm here to make a difference. I know that I'm here to inspire. Even if you're working in a gas station or a 7-Eleven, you can still live your purpose through that job. It's just a vehicle. Your purpose doesn't have to just be lived when you're doing some big thing. Your purpose can be lived working in a car wash. Your purpose can be lived as an attorney. Your purpose can be lived as a real estate agent. If you know the real essence of what your purpose is, then you can live it no matter what. Then it's not dependent on a job or a situation. And I think that's your purpose really can be lived while sometimes we get this idea that we have to live our purpose, and it has to be this huge thing where we're changing continents, where we're healing all of the whales in the ocean, we're feeding all of the children in Africa, when sometimes your kid is being neglected. Your own kid is being neglected in an effort to give water to all the children in Africa. You know, your wife is being neglected. Sometimes the greatest purpose is going on a date with your wife and looking into her eyes and being loving. Sometimes the biggest purpose is, you know, spending time with your parents because you haven't made time for them for the last 2 years. Sometimes the biggest purpose is just connecting with your kid at 2 a.m., changing their diapers. You know, so purpose can be lived even in the small moments of life by bringing your attention of who you are to each moment.
We could seriously stop right now and just, we're golden. This is you are no wonder why you're such a powerful speaker. By the way, I was going to wait to ask you this, but as soon as you go live again, I'm there, and I'm sure a lot of people listening are there. Is there, and actually I don't want to go there yet because I want to ask you a follow-up question.
Okay,
So
go for it.
how do people know, like you were talking about, reframing their current job versus quitting? Where is it part of that? I don't want to say exaggerating because that's not what it is, but projecting out 20, 30 years, how am I going to feel? How do people decide if they should just reframe their thoughts on their current situation, or if it's time to?
But yeah, so I would say, you know, it's not necessarily like, oh, just quit now. I would say while you are where you are, a lot of people, the approach that a lot of people take is they're stuck in resentment. I hate my job. 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 That blocks the flow. So instead of saying that, acknowledge, yes, I don't like my job. It's not why I'm here. It's the truth. Then use that time to do what I just said. Get clear on what your true purpose is, not just jump into another job because you're going to jump into another job that you hate. Use that time to get some clarity on your soul navigation, your soul's purpose. And then as you use that time, then while you are where you are, extract the gift of the skills that you're meant to learn and the lessons you're meant to learn where you are, because if you learn the lessons where you are, you'll be more ready for what's next. If you don't learn there's a reason that you are in the job that you're in. Learn the lessons where you are, then you'll graduate to be able to be, many times we want what's next. We want the next level, but we're not freaking ready. We're not ready for the next level. If the next level of your life showed up, but you're not ready, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You know, if we said, okay, I'm going to put you in the Olympics right now, but you haven't trained. Yes, free pass to the Olympic. Yeah, I want to go to the Olympic, but you haven't done your training. It's not going to happen. If we said, okay, your dream is to be a heavyweight boxing champion, and we put you in the ring with Mike Tyson, we put you in the ring with Anthony Joshua, or, you know, a UFC champion, we're going to put you in the ring with, like, you know, Conor McGregor or someone. You're going to get whooped. If you haven't trained and you're not prepared, when the universe gives you the opportunity, then you will miss the opportunity because you're not prepared. Many times our dreams don't manifest for a couple of reasons. People say, oh, I've done everything, I'm doing everything. No. There's about 3 reasons your dream don't manifest. Number 1, the dream that you're holding in your mind, the dream that you're holding in your mind, is really not the authentic dream that is aligned with your soul. The dream that you think you want is just what you think you want based on who you think you are. But if you're not in touch with who you really are, then what you think you want, I want that car, I want that Ferrari, I want that big house, I want that girl, I want that thing, I want to make $1 gazillion. I mean, it's all great, doesn't mean you can't. But many times our goals aren't truly authentic. And so sometimes, reason number 1, our dreams don't manifest because what we think we want is just what we think we want, not what we truly are aligned with. Right? Or what is highest for our soul. It's coming from our ego. It's coming from our unmet wounds from childhood, thinking if I can get that thing, then I'm going to be enough. If I can be an actor, then I'm going to be validated. If I can win that Oscar, then I'm going to, you know, dad's going to be proud of me and I'm going to prove that I'm so worthy if I can achieve that and create that thing. That will never bring us true fulfillment in our souls. Ego fulfillment will never fulfill us at the deepest level. We will always be chasing empty, you know, empty calories. We'll always be chasing empty goals, and it will never be fulfilling. So that's number 1. Sometimes, so if what you think you want isn't really what you truly want, then and life doesn't show up, then life is kind of course correcting you and giving you the opportunity to dig deeper and realign within your own soul and get clear. What is it that I really want that's true for me? What is it that is authentic for me? That's number 1. Number 2, sometimes you're chasing a goal, dream, vision, or a job, and the timing's not right. It's just not timing. It's not, I mean, if it's summer and you want to go snowing, it doesn't, you can visualize, you can practice at law of attraction, you can do whatever you want. But if it's hot, like, look, I've been in Phoenix most of the summer. A week ago, it was 112 degrees. I can pray, meditate, visualize, do affirmation, read the positive books, be positive, pump myself up, go outside and say snow. It's not happening. It's because it's not the season. It's not the time. So we have to be willing to work with the rhythm of life and the cycle of life and realize there is a time for everything, you know. So maybe we're not ready, maybe the collective culture's not ready, maybe, you know, so we have to work with the timing of the universe. That's the second thing. The third thing I was just kind of alluding to before was perhaps we're not ready yet. And if we're not ready yet, I believe we are human beings. I believe that we're souls incarnated into human body, and we're here to learn, grow, and evolve. That's why we're here. And every experience, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a breakup, whatever, it's ultimately all designed for our learning and growth and evolution. We're here to grow, learn, and evolve, and become more of who we really are, more of our true, authentic self. And so sometimes our dreams don't manifest because we have not become the necessary people who were truly able to match that vision. Meaning there's still growth, there are still lessons that we need to learn where we are, when we are, where we are, that we haven't learned the lessons where we are. It's like wanting to graduate from kindergarten or wanting to graduate from high school, but we haven't passed any of the tests. It doesn't work that way. You got to graduate. You got to take those SATs. You got to take that A-level exam, and you've got to graduate. Otherwise, you fail, and you repeat the class again until you pass. That's how it works. All lessons are repeated until learned. Life is a school. Life is a school of loving. Life is a school of evolution. And so often dreams don't manifest because we simply haven't learned the lessons yet. Often we try to force and push and force our way and manipulate our way. I say, rather than doing that, learn to flow. How you flow, learn the lesson where you are. When you learn the lesson in a relationship, in a situation, you will unlock the lock to the next level of your life. And so those are a few reasons why things tend to not manifest and why we stay stuck. And so if you're in a job that you hate, stop hating on it. Do what I just said, but then bless the job. And while you are there, while you are in the job that you are in, because it's teaching you something about yourself and it's giving you the opportunity to do the exploration, make sure you don't waste the time. Most people waste the time because they're so busy moaning and groaning and complaining about the job that they don't use the time to do what we just said. And so use the time. Basically, you're getting paid to do your exploration, but just make sure you do your exploration. And two things. First thing is, how shall I say it? Do the job where you are with the highest level of excellence. Do the job where you are with the highest level of brilliance and excellence so you can be in integrity and be in true respect for yourself. As you do that, you bring yourself into another level of alignment and you will respect yourself. That will generate an internal power inside of you, and that power will help move you forward. That's the first thing. Don't half-ass it. Don't be mediocre. Do the job at the highest level possible. That's how you begin earning your rights to the next level. Then, secondly, make sure that every single day, most people are busy moaning, groaning, and complaining, and they're wasting like 3 hours. People say, Kute, I hate my job. I hate my job. I hate my job. I hate my job. I hate my... I'm like, I've heard you say that for the last 3 years. Now, so I asked them, what did you do today? What actions did you take today? How much time did you spend yesterday? How much time did you spend last week working on what you love, working on where you want to go? None. Well, if you're not spending any time each day working on the alternative, working on the new business, working on the new project, working on, where you want to go, nothing is going to change. You're just being a victim, wasting your time. So stop complaining, stop blaming, stop moaning, stop shaming yourself, and instead make sure every single day, even if it's, but Kute, I'm so busy. Everyone has 10 minutes. Everyone has 15 minutes. Everyone has, take an hour. If you hate your job that bad, that means you should take more time to really figure out what you're going to do instead. And so those are a few things I would say for those that may be challenged with the job that they're at.
I love that you're giving these ideas of things that anybody listening or watching can do, boom, immediately get started right after they're done listening to this. This is so good. Kute, I got to ask you because I was going to surprise you and hold your book up, but it's on the way. It's not here yet, but I can't wait to
Okay.
dive into it. And I got to ask you for myself and for everybody else. There you go. There it is.
There it is. You're the
You
one.
are the one. Is everything you're talking about, and I'm assuming a lot more
Yeah.
detail in the book?
In the book, yeah. A lot of the stuff is in the book, and the book is written in a way that's fun and entertaining and through stories. So it's such an easy read. But a lot of the concepts are in here in some way, shape, or form, and some aren't. Some aren't in different, different videos and what have you. But the core of my work is in this.
Okay, beautiful. And I have to ask you, because it's clearly with COVID and everything going on, I'm sure you're probably the perfect person to ask this to. How have you, I guess the word is pivot that you're hearing as the buzzword. How have you pivoted, dealt with, grown during this interesting time? And is there something you can give us? What's next for you? Do you have that
Yeah, look,
visualized?
I could go on forever, but what I would say is I think that, as I was saying, I think that this time in 2020 is the universe's way of giving us an opportunity to take a step back for a moment, giving us the opportunity to really reflect and go inside and reflect on what's real, what's true, who do we want to be really? Because we're just running around so fast in the world, going here, going there. I'm traveling, you're traveling, we're all like all over the place. And so I think the universe is just giving us a way to kind of sit for a moment, to feel more deeply, to meditate, to reflect, to reinvent ourselves, to update our minds, to reconnect with like, okay, what is my purpose really? To sort of, take the time to let go of any old junk inside. And so this is the time I would say, really use this time wisely. Don't, it's easy to be upset and resist what's happening right now. But the more and be in denial, but I think if you can use this time to say, okay, I have an opportunity to lay the foundation again for my life. I think 2020 can be the most impactful year that will serve as a catalyst for us going to the next level. In order to go to the next level, you have to let go of the things in your life that are not truly in alignment. In order to go to the next level, you have to let go of the things in your life that are not working. But many times we hold on to those things in our lives, the relationship, the thing, because it's comfortable, because that's who we know ourselves to be, because I've always done it that way. And sometimes we even get into what I call a trap of success. We do a thing and it works. People reinforce us. We now create an identity and we keep doing it because it works and we make money. The challenge is sometimes we stop growing, but we keep doing it because it works. Wow, it's working. So we're caught in a loop, no longer fully alive and connected, but we keep doing something just because it's working. And so I think it's an opportunity to look at, what am I doing in my life that is working, but I'm no longer growing. And this is a trap of success, where we get into a comfort zone of doing what's comfortable because it's working, even though we're not growing and evolving. And so I think this year is giving us that opportunity. So I would invite everyone to really take the time every day, even if it's 10 minutes, to just be still, be willing to slow down, be willing to reflect, be willing to reflect on, who am I? Where am I going truly? What do I really want? Who do I want to be? What's meaningful in my life? Oh, so many of the things that we thought were important and meaningful, right? Are gone. So many things that we thought were important and meaningful, that we invested so much time and energy in, friends, family, situation, this, looking good, all of that. None of that shit is really important. The only thing that's really important, I think we're starting to get down to like, what's really essential for us? Truly what's essential? What are our real values? And I think when we can really refine this within ourselves, we become truly strong inside. And so I think this year is an amazing opportunity to do that. It's an amazing time. It's not easy, right? For many of us, it's not easy. It is challenging, but I believe that it's an opportunity for a reset. It's an opportunity for reset. So the next level of our lives requires the next level of you. The next level of your life requires the next level of you. The next level of your life requires that you let go of everything that is not working. Let it go. But many times we hold on out of fear. Holding on to that which isn't working only blocks the flow of the universe. Holding on to that which isn't working only keeps you stuck. Holding on to that which isn't working only affirms your lack of trust in the universe. And that, talk about law of attraction, if you're affirming really your lack of trust in your actions, then you will attract more things in your life to be fearful of and trust and have more lack of trust in, regardless of what you're saying or doing on the surface. And so I say use this time to clean house. Use this time to make the space. So much of our mental and emotional and physical lives are clouded with things that just aren't true anymore. We have friends we're talking about social distancing. Whatever you believe is your belief, but social distancing. I think there's probably friends in our lives that we've had in our lives for way too long, right? Yeah. And we need to be socially distancing from some of these folks forever because they're not having a positive impact on your life. They're bringing you down. They're pooping on your dreams. They're taking you in directions that aren't uplifting. And so we have to ask ourselves, why is this person still in my life? So when they come back in July after this pandemic, you can still say, oh, I'm sorry, Joe or Susie, I'm still social distancing. Clear house and make the space. When you make the space in your life, then there is room for something new to show up. New possibilities, new relationships, new opportunities, new ideas can begin showing up. But we have to have the courage to create that vacuum and make the space.
This is just cute. I got to tell you, when you're talking, first off, the content that you have is insane. Like, it's so good. But I have to acknowledge you too, because the way that you speak, I mean, I feel like you're sitting next to me, even though you're not. And it just, I'm sure everybody listening or watching, it feels like he's talking directly to you. And you're full of passion and love. And I appreciate you a lot, my friend. This has been, I want to have you on for another 7 hours, but I don't know. You may want to social distance from me after that, so maybe I won't do that. All right, I want to finish it up. I do this final 5. It's a rapid 5 questions, and then we'll let you go. Before I do that, though, how can people? We saw the book. I can't wait to get it myself. You Are The One. There it is for you watching on YouTube. He's got it up there. You Are The One. Kute, tell us how else people can connect with you, follow you, etc.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Facebook. Go to Facebook, Kute Blackson Love Now. Go to Instagram, Kute Blackson. My website, kuteblackson.com. You can also, 2 more things. You can receive a free gift by going to, I created a 3-part powerful video series, Activating, www.activatingabundanceonline.com. You can put that in the show notes, Activating Abundance Online. You'll receive 3 amazing videos that will be, I think, truly inspiring and life-changing in terms of helping you activate and reconnect with the abundance in your life during these challenging times. For anyone that really wants to go to the next level of your life, really what I do is I help people transform. That's my passion. That's my gift. Beyond just sort of motivating people, although I am motivational, my real work is transformational in nature, whether it's 1-on-1, 1-on-5, 1-on-20, 1-on-500, 1-on-700. But one of the favorite things for me to do is to work with those that are really, really like serious about going to the next level. So I would say if you're someone who you feel a calling to make a big difference or impact on the world, if you're someone where you're ready to break free of your past conditioning and sort of catapult yourself to living your true soul's purpose and destiny, twice a year, every July and December, I do a 12-day deep dive transformational experiential immersion seminar training in Bali, Indonesia. And we're rocking and rolling. And so it's called Boundless Bliss, the Bali Breakthrough Experience. You can go to www.boundlessblissbali.com. That's www.boundlessblissbali.com. You can find out all the information there. There's a video you can apply. And once you go to the website, you will know and you will feel the calling.
Oh, I can't even imagine those 12 days. That is probably something.
Come join us.
I think I might have to. I got to talk to my wife about, we both might be coming out there. I got to talk about that. All right. So I'll put all that in the show notes. That's beautiful. Are you ready for the quick final 5 here?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. How do you want to be remembered?
Someone who loved profoundly, loved deeply. That's really it. Someone who loved profoundly, loved deeply.
I love it. I love it. Simple and powerful. What are you most thankful for?
I just think being alive, I mean, it sounds corny, but just
No.
being alive. I mean, if it wasn't alive, I wouldn't be here. So, I'm just thankful for the gift of life with all its ups and downs, and the opportunity to just keep growing through it all. That's really what I'm grateful for.
I can tell. I can definitely tell, and I'm sure everyone else can, that you're grateful to be alive because you bring it. You bring it. All right, this is my favorite question, and I'm interested to see how you're going to answer this. What is your best dance move, Kute? Can you cut it up on the dance floor?
I can cut it up on the dance floor. I don't know if I have a name for it. It just looks crazy.
What is it, like a full body, like you're going
It's
all
a
out?
it's a full body, like I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but something's happening, and just sort of like I don't really care what it looks like, but let's let it flow. It's one of those.
Okay, well, if people come to Bali, can they see it in person?
If they come to Bali from this interview and you say I saw it on this interview, I'll give it to them.
Yes, that's great. Okay, two more quick ones. What's the biggest obstacle you've overcome?
I mean, honestly, so many. I mean, there's so many times over the years, especially in those beginning stages, that I wanted to give up, that I thought of going back home. Life was hard. I've been rejected so many times in pursuit of dreams, goals, and I like laughed at and ridiculed, laughed out of offices. I mean, just embarrassment after embarrassment after embarrassment, and kept going, And so, I don't know if it's just one. I mean, I've death of two of my dearest, best friends.
Oh,
That
man.
was heartbreaking. Two of them, two brothers that were my best friends, both of them gone. Uh, Devastating.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You've been through
yeah.
a
So,
lot and you keep
so
plowing
yeah,
forward.
I think we cannot let heartbreak or challenges in life make us bitter. And I think many times the heartbreak is what God or the universe uses to crack our hearts open so that light can shine through.
So good. I want this to go on forever. Okay, last one, Coot. Who is your hero?
Who is my hero? I think at different stages of my life, but honestly, I would say my parents now.
Mm-hmm.
I really have deep love for their souls. My mother was she passed away 3 years ago, but a great woman. She taught me a lot about service, a lot about humility, a lot about real greatness. An amazing woman, and same with my father, who was a challenging guy growing up, but a man who so dedicated to service and at the deepest level in an impersonal way, like real love. And so they're heroes to me. I mean, there's many people over time, but those are two people that will always be.
That's beautiful. That is a perfect way to wrap it up. I'm sure I speak for everyone listening or watching. Thank you for your time, Kute. And by the way, it's Kute is how you spell his first name. Blackson, Blackson. Look him up. This guy is on another level. I can't wait to meet you in person at some point. I'm coming to an event. That's my verbal commitment to you. This has been something special, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. It's been
You're
great
welcome.
being on with you.
Absolutely.